Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The brilliant single-man couple Teresa Nist and Gerry Turner declared their stunning separation after only 3 months of marriage, and presently Teresa ought to start to lead the pack of her own season as the very first star of the brilliant Lone Rangeress. Teresa, a 70-year-old monetary administrations proficient from Shrewsbury, New Jersey, and Gerry, a 72-year-old resigned restaurateur from Hudson, Indiana, met, experienced passionate feelings for, and got connected with during the brilliant single guy. During the After the Last Rose episode, they reported that they needed to get hitched straight away. The brilliant Lone Ranger went on with Teresa and Gerry's brilliant wedding on January 4, 2024. During the breathtaking live broadcast occasion, their relatives filled in as the marriage party, while their Lone Ranger country companions went along with them to observe them get hitched. In any case, on April 12, 2024, only 3 months after the brilliant wedding, Gerry and Teresa reported that they were separating, saying that neither one of them needed to get away from their families, so they couldn't sort out where to take up residence. After some time elapses, Teresa ought to be given a role as the brilliant unhitched female season 1 lead for some reasons. At the point when Gerry and Teresa declared their separation on Great Morning America on April 12, the two of them said that they were as yet open to tracking down adoration. Teresa stressed that she trusted that individuals wouldn't abandon love in light of the fact that their marriage didn't stand the test of time. She said that they'd got a ton of affection and backing from brilliant unhitched male watchers. Thus many individuals let them know that the show gave them such a lot of trust. Teresa added that they believed absolutely no part of that should change for anyone. Teresa isn't abandoning tracking down her individual, even after her marriage and separation. This demonstrates that she's significant about finding another soul mate, which would make her the ideal brilliant Lone Rangeress. Teresa hasn't permitted her bombed relationship with Gerry to deter her from finding the genuine romance that she needs and merits. That sort of receptiveness and trust is precisely exact things required from the very first brilliant unhitched female lead. Before their separation, Teresa and Gerry attempted to think twice about where they'd reside. Teresa shared that they'd took a gander at houses in South Carolina and New Jersey, 2 states where her youngsters live, however they couldn't come to an understanding. Neither one of them needed to leave their families. This is totally reasonable for 2 individuals in their 70s, who are likely extremely sunk into their day-to-day schedules with their friends and family. Nonetheless, it was the primary driver of Gerry and Teresa's separation. As the star of the brilliant Lone Wolfess, Teresa would have the option to track down somebody who needs exactly the same things that she needs. The show ought to project men who live near her old neighborhood, or men who will move there for her. The brilliant single man was Gerry's show, so maybe he expected that whomever he picked would move to his old neighborhood. In the event that Teresa were the lead of her own season, she could expect something similar from the man that she chose. Unlike a portion of the other brilliant Lone Ranger ladies who were reluctant to allow themselves to fall totally enamored with Gerry so rapidly, Teresa was holding nothing back all along. Gerry provided Teresa with the first on-one date of the time, which occurred at a burger joint. During the date, Gerry and Teresa fortified over the misfortunes of their companions. Gerry had lost his better half, Tony, 6 years sooner, while Teresa's significant other, Billy, had died just about 9 years prior. In spite of the fact that Gerry and Teresa both went through these shocking misfortunes, they let each know other that they actually had the expectation that they'd track down affection later on. They even hit the dance floor with a glimmer Hoard to Travel's Don't Stop Believin', which turned into the subject of their relationship. It was exceptionally evident all through their excursion that Teresa was totally prepared for adoration, particularly when she let Gerry know that she cherished him. It was a major step for her, yet she needed to take it. Teresa merits one more opportunity to find love on The Brilliant Bachelorette. Teresa did right by being an extremely strong accomplice to Gerry on their most memorable date. On the date, Gerry drove on the California Turnpike interestingly, and the headlights on the exemplary vehicle he was driving weren't working. He was exceptionally stressed, yet Teresa tenderly put her hand on his shoulder, and he was immediately quieted. At the point when Gerry met Teresa's family during her old neighborhood date, he recounted to them this story, accentuating the amount it intended to him. Teresa was a magnificent, emotionally supportive network for Gerry, and she would be no different for the men on her brilliant single girl season. She had the option to be Gerry's solidarity when he wanted it most. Teresa is a tough lady, which is a significant quality for the lead of an unhitched male establishment series. She would have the option to start to lead the pack and backing the men through the occasionally troublesome course of the show, and ideally she'd get something very similar from them. Throughout the brilliant single guy, Teresa demonstrated her dedication to Gerry. As a matter of fact, she was so fascinated with him that she once in a while failed to remember that her kindred candidates, who were likewise her companions, were additionally seeking his heart. One notorious illustration of this was when Teresa was spouting about her relationship with Gerry to Kathy Swartz, who felt that Teresa was flaunting about their association. Kathy told Teresa to zip it, which has now become one of the most well-known lone wolf country expressions. Assuming Teresa were the star of her own brilliant lone wolf season, she wouldn't need to stress over spilling her guts about the man she adored. She additionally wouldn't need to think about what his associations with different ladies were like. Teresa could just partake in her time investing her time into the relationship with the man she cherished without considering other candidates' feelings, unlike a large portion of the Lone Ranger country couples who got connected on their seasons and afterward separated not long from now. Subsequently, prior to sealing the deal, Teresa really finished and wedded Gerry. Despite the fact that it at last finished and separate, the marriage demonstrated that Teresa was ready to go out on a limb and sincerely commit to Gerry immediately. This is a significant quality for unhitched male establishment show prompts have on the grounds that, in any case, the show appears to be silly. In spite of the fact that Teresa undoubtedly won't have any desire to hop into another commitment and marriage so not long after her separation from Gerry, the way that she proceeded with it in any case demonstrates that she has faith during the time spent the show. The brilliant Lone Rangeress lead can't be doubtful or negative about the show, since then her process will unquestionably end in sorrow. Teresa has previously had to deal with it once, so she knows what's in store, and she ideally will have gained from the experience. At 70 years of age, Teresa is as yet working. Teresa needing to save her occupation was a disputed matter for Gerry, who said on the Dear Shandy Webb recording half a month prior to their separation declaration that he's been resigned for quite a while, and he needed tomfoolery and experience. Teresa said that it was an obstacle in their relationship. In a November 2023 Instagram post, Teresa defined how she landed her position. She made sense of that. She fostered an enthusiasm for the securities exchange at 46 years of age. She went to the library and read each book she could track down about the point, and furthermore began watching CNBC and paying attention to Bloomberg. Teresa made sense of that. She purchased 3 stocks, which ultimately prompted her exchanging consistently. She no longer day trades, however she is still in the business working with what she calls an extraordinary organization in a place that she cherishes. Teresa's insight and independence is an extremely engaging quality. She merits an accomplice who'll perceive and value this, and empower and uphold her in her arrangements to proceed with her vocation late throughout everyday life. It likewise shows that she wasn't on the show to acquire riches or popularity. This is so significant for the brilliant single woman lead. The brilliant Lone Rangeress lead ought to be somebody attractive and vivacious, who knows how to have a great time. Teresa showed herself to have these characteristics when she showed up at the Unhitched Male House on debut night, which additionally turned out to be her 70th birthday celebration. She grabbed Gerry's eye by rising up out of the limousine, reporting that she planned to show him her birthday suit. At the point when she opened her wrap, she uncovered tissue-shaded underpants, and the two of them giggled. Afterward, Gerry gave Teresa a cupcake for her birthday. He inquired as to whether he took a chomp of cupcake and had icing all around his mouth, would she assist with tidying it up. She said okay, and requested that he make it happen. They then shared their most memorable kiss. This experience lighted a flash that simply kept on consuming more grounded all through the season. As the brilliant single woman, Teresa would carry her energetic character to middle of everyone's attention and enamor her suitors. Although Teresa wound up wedding Gerry eventually, she needed to go through the troublesome course of realizing that she was rivaling 21 different people for his heart all along. Gerry additionally told next in line Leslie Fema that he cherished her, and he even told her that he thought she was the one. Teresa should be the focal point of consideration of her own season, during which she'd be in charge of the circumstance. Gerry told both Leslie and Confidence Martin that he cherished them before he told Teresa. Despite the fact that he might have been sitting tight for the right second, she actually needed to go into the rose service after her old neighborhood date, realizing that she'd let him know that she adored him, and he didn't express it back. Obviously, he ultimately did, and they even got hitched, yet assuming Teresa were the star of her own brilliant single woman season, she'd at absolutely no point ever need to have that impression in the future.